Okay, so I've been thinking about problems that I see with the country, and I know evidently nobody gives a crap about what I gotta say. But let me just say this: the entire time coronavirus was going down, I only got locked down for 3 months because I was laid off due to coronavirus, and I didn't even have it. And I used that funding to buy a vehicle, to get a job, to restart again. But every bit of that, from what I see, was a money scam, just like everything. Because the country, the country's a business model. It's not your family. It's not your friend. Everything is money, which is really sad. Like, people should have family and people should have friendships and relationships and such without it always being money, 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 money. But money is, in essence, survival. You gotta have it to survive. But what I was wanting to say is I believe instead of looking at towns and then going up and looking at counties and then going up and looking at states and then looking at the country as a whole, imagine a box, right? Just a perfect box with 50 or 51, I don't know. I'm going to go with 50. That's what I was raised growing up. 50 states, but 50 little boxes inside of this box, right? Well, each one of those boxes have a bigger box, or I'm sorry, smaller boxes inside of them, or counties with even smaller boxes inside of that. But it's divided by four rectangles, which is an people don't see that. You do not see that because there's no four things dividing us. But I see districts, a mentality of districts, right? And that mentality of districts is you have the super rich elite. And I mean, this is the CEOs of your biggest companies, possibly people in the military and the highest up spectrums, the president, people of athletic persuasion. And then you go down to the second rectangle, so to speak, that's on these boxes. And what that is that's judges and governors and politicians and candidates. You know what I'm saying? Legislators, doctors, all of that. And then you go down to what I mean. You got super rich elite, then you got upper middle class, and then I'm going to say poor. Right now, if you took everything into considerations, probably anybody that's making less than $20 an hour. That's the new poor right now. You take that, and that's your workers. That's anything from mid-level construction down to fast food right now, right? And then there's the fourth rectangle, which is the super like poor, the homeless, the couch surfers, um, that. Well, I think that the super rich elite side of the spectrum, they're bored and they have nothing else to do other than screw with people. Like, really, they're going to play God with people, right? Because if you took a poor guy like me and say I wanted to help a homeless person, which I'm not taking anybody in, don't get any ideas, but if I wanted to, I could go about it two ways. I could buy somebody a suit. I could go help them get cleaned up, take a bath, and go find a job so they can be in my situation right now. Or I could be evil and say I'm going to help them and then take them out to, a back alley. And, if you're homeless, chances are you're a drug addict or something went horribly wrong, and hand them out a bunch of poison and tell them it's drugs. The same thing can be applied in these rectangles, which is unseen in our states, otherwise known as what I'm going to call districts. So I think people can be persuaded by money, and I think people can be persuaded by fear. So this is going to be kind of a song, kind of a representation of things I see that's going on. So think about the boxes, right?
That is on the track.
You've got, it used to be YouTube, now it's TikTok, you know? Make some friends, make some money, make some trends, check the shit, it's kinda funny. Make some friends, make some money, make some trends, check the shit, it's kinda funny. Funny how reminiscing doesn't mean a thing. When I was just a kid lost to engineering, call it social. You see it so you don't give a shit, smart enough to know I'm being used. Stuck enough like robotics inside my DNA, antibiotics, while Wall Street evaluates the meth heads that are listening to every single fucking thing. Do it one time, guess what, kid, you're never the same. You wanna know what the war on drugs is? It's the feds are listening. The same shit applied to how you think. Yeah, you want them shoes, you want that bling, watch some TV. The programmers tell you when to eat on the weekend of the spectrum, my provider. Unless you settle down and realize language was created to revolutionize the lies of persuasion, to create power for a party, to take the therapy of nation. Coronavirus. So many live in a life of manipulation, gaslighted. Others gather around the church congregation. Some have a bullet in a chamber, with sweat on the brow, hesitation. Some understand, some see the end revelation. Some have enough grit to part the seas, haymaker. So dude, everything is persuasion. Like a bunch of Democrats screw shit up, then Fox News goes back to their business model, otherwise known as Donald Trump. Otherwise known as Donald Trump. And then the next thing you know is people start buying bullets and Trump flags, right? Because of survival instinct. Because of that business model has you have to survive. Why do you think so many people think the cops did it when 9/11 happened? The thing is, because what's the cops' number, dude? It's 911. Think about that. Our entire news is completely 100% whoever can generate the most money. And when you got billionaires out there that can pay for anyone to be persuaded by anything, through social engineering, through fear, through intellect, through your psyche. Think about a billionaire. To put that in perspective, how many of you regular people have even seen $100,000 at one time? And think about it. You're not trying to invest in an idea or something. You're trying to buy a super awesome car or a house, not control over an entire country. That's what they're doing, and I see it. Music influences, but not about morals and matters. It's always instinct, which is survival. And if we are kept at the must survive level, they can sell us anything on the mass as instinct. You'll buy a lottery ticket, and you're not buying a lottery ticket, you're buying hope that you might get some money. Because you were depressed into that situation. I mean, how many women who know they're not smart, but know they look good, know that they can find a man and please him, like sexually or cleaning or whatever, and keep that dude and make it through life, essentially having sex, being a wife, whatever, or a whore, you know? That happens all the time. Next thing you know is once they figure out they can do that, on their phone, all of a sudden, yoga pants is popping up everywhere on all the ads, all over your phone. Like, I don't even have a college degree, and I can tell you that this is how they persuade the stock market. Like, yes, you can make money off of it, but this is also how people can make real money off of it. Think about it. You got $1 million, you want to persuade an entire county or not country, $1 million. I'd say that's a state. You could probably persuade the poor and homeless with $1 million through ads. Next thing you know is if you persuade enough people, there's $100 million in your stock. So, to keep going, let me see where I'm at. I have some notes. Isaac Newton said, for every action, there's equal and opposite reaction for the laws of motion. The same thing can be applied to a business model. Our country is a business model, okay? So, say, like, people get addicted and buy cigarettes. That's already scamming all on its own. Like, when you're addicted to something, you're going to keep buying it and buying it and buying it and buying it. Well, If cigarettes kill millions of people every so many years, that's less people who need a support system of money who no longer exist, and for a time that they were alive after being taxed for this, taxed for that, and taxed for this, they were leached for life and an extra bill for something that grows out of the ground. Like, they're creating money from nothing and then killing the people that are spending the money. Like, legally killing these people. Like I smoke, I drink alcohol. The thing is that it goes from the ground, and it makes these individuals who own the companies money. Legal murder as the buyer's consent. Yet it's unfair because of the physical addiction. You see a lot of people smoking is a very nasty bad habit, but with enough persuasion, I guarantee I would bet my life on it if we directed all cigarette proceeds to hurricane relief, adoption agencies, and roads for places in need, or for like something like that, that helps people. Suddenly you would be seeing smoking everywhere, allowed in hotels, airplanes again, because of persuasion. America is not land of the free. It is land of the persuaded, land of the taxed, and of a company playing God through social engineering. I guarantee if you want to play God in one state, there's a business for that, okay? There's a business to play God. All you need is one person with money and influence putting the right ads on TV in front of the right addicts, which isn't just drugs. I mean, that could be food, that could be sex, that could be anything you're addicted to. If you ever watched a commercial for Papa John's and then you needed to go order some Papa John's, that's what I'm saying. We have freedom of speech, but we don't have a freedom of influence. It's everywhere, all the time. So, me saying all you need is one person with money and influence putting the right ads on TV in front of the right addicts to dictate their behavior, and guess what? They don't even know they're being manipulated. Give the whores yoga pants, commercials, and Hollywood hustler ads. Give the gangbangers easy access to promethazine, put them in their hood boxes. Give the regular people something to fear and they will buy protection. Suddenly, you have a ring. And I'm not talking about like a sex ring exactly. It could be applied to it. But I'm talking about a ring of economy that generates money because people are generating fear, because people are betting on people to kill other people. People are betting on people to go crazy and do this or that. People are playing God because they had $1 million to do it. Like, they don't even know that, like, you have rings of gangsters manipulated by hires up killing for someone else's agenda to make money, population control, and extremely rich man's leisure. It's a horse race, and that's the ring. But don't ever do drugs one time or nobody will ever listen to you with anything you've ever got to say for the rest of your entire life. Because if you were a poor man once or a homeless man one time, that is finally the perfect alibi to say goodbye to somebody.